All right, it seems like it's 5:15. Please stand and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I will now call this regular school board meeting of Independent School District 544 to order. And with that, I'll turn to the clerk for establishing a quorum.
Kirby Anderson.
Present.
Kelly Graff. Here. Jenny Christensen.
Present.
Missy Hermes here. Melanie Cole.
Here.
Stephen Vigasa.
Here.
We have a quorum.
All right, thank you. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Any discussion on the agenda? All in favor of approving, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. That is approved. We have one acknowledgement, and we will offer a resolution to thank Jason and Elise Bergstrand for their donation to the Unified Club Prom at Fergus Falls Public Schools. I'll offer that resolution and move for its adoption. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion on the resolution? Hearing none, clerk, please take roll.
Okay. Kelly Graff.
Yes.
Jenny Christensen.
Yes.
Missy Hermes, yes. Melanie Cole.
Yes.
Stephen Vigasa.
Yes.
Kirby Anderson.
Yes.
The resolution is adopted.
All right, thank you. We have reports tonight, beginning with Doug Anderson, our facilities supervisor. Good evening, Doug.
So I'll start out real quick here by just hitting on staffing, because we have quite a few custodial staff, obviously. That's been stable throughout the winter pretty much here. We've got a sub list right now of about 11 subs, extra people, that we can call in and stuff like that for events and stuff. So that's been good. Setting up for our last building head meeting for before the end of school here. That'll be next month on the 6th, May 6th. Just finished up with supply orders, excluding gym floor finish last week. So I'll be working on gym floor finish orders this week here with our supplier. Gym floor dates are set up for June and July. Cleveland roof right now, they're in the process of that. They're getting there. There's a lot of duct work on that roof, so that's what's kind of slowing them down over there a little bit. They have to pick up the equipment a little bit, slide the stuff underneath. So there's just a lot more work with that roof, it seems like. But they're getting there on that. So Adam's roof has started, and that one's moving along. We're going to go over and check that tomorrow to see how far they are on that. That's going faster because there's less duct work on the roof itself. So so this summer there's a lot of different projects going on. We've got a significant amount of projects in each building. We've got some stuff going on in Adams building and Kennedy, Adams, Kennedy, and Roosevelt. Yeah, Roosevelt, I'm sorry. Some restorations on the terrazzo up at Kennedy. Hallway B, we're going to get epoxied because that's getting so much salt and stuff on it, on the concrete. We can't keep floor finish on it anymore, so we'll be looking at that. Adams, just doing refresh on some bathrooms over there, working through that process with quotes and stuff. Roosevelt, some floor restoration here, as well as some refresh in bathrooms and painting, so up in the upper level. So I think that's about it.
Cool.
I can think of.
Do you know when Cleveland roof is anticipated to be done? Will that be in the summer yet or spring?
Oh, I think, what would you say, Ed, a month maybe? Before school's on, I think Cleveland will be done.
That's when the tile gets switched out. No point in switching out
Right.
tile on the inside until the roof is fixed.
Right.
Is that
Yep.
accurate?
Yep.
So,
We have all the tiles that are going to be needed in school, and we're replacing any of them that are damaged to a point where they're falling apart. So there's no open holes in the school, and we'll take care of that.
yeah, great. Thank
And
you.
we're kind of going as, you know, as the roof is repaired, that we can kind of move forward with that, those areas.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's really good.
Yeah.
That's just been a long slog, and we haven't had good cooperation from the providers, so,
Yeah, so.
Thanks for
it'll be
hanging
good
in
to have
there on that.
That done and completed for sure, so,
okay.
okay,
Any other questions, comments for Doug?
okay.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank
Yep,
you.
yep.
And with that, we'll call on his partner in crime, Ed Shea.
Oh, that's not fair.
Oh, sorry, mechanical supervisor. I know you guys work together well.
We're cool. No, that's just fine. We do work well together. We have a big agenda. I'm just going to touch on 3 projects and then something I've started in our group. The first project was the elevator project down in the rec gym. That thing went wonderfully. The elevator goes up and down. It's quieter. We didn't affect anybody. Nobody was inconvenienced. It was perfect. We learned some of the things that worked and some of the things that didn't work. So for the next one, we're going to start it on June 1st at ALC here at this one in this school. And everything here is here. It's in my shop and it's in that elevator room. So that will start June 1st. Now they've asked me to move another one up forward. So we were going to do Adams later. Surprise, we're going to try to do Adams at the same time. But we're going to wait 1 week so school is out. That way we can take the materials that they're going to bring to Roosevelt in my shop, and that first week they can bring them over to Adams and put them in the lower level by the elevator. There'll be no more kids in that building, and that'll be a safe time for them to start the equipment over there, get everything ready to go. And with any luck, I know the elevator here will be done on time. The one over there, because it's a little bit shorter, it's going to be close, but we're going to have all of the elevators other than McKinley up to code for hopefully the rest of my time at the school district. The other thing I wanted to touch base with was something that I've started in my group. And you know, it's nice when you can see things that are working, that you can actually get some feedback on. I did something called safety shorts. I'm not a very big computer person. I was shown how to use AI for the first time, and I actually used AI. I said, hey, AI, I want to do some safety shorts. I want to sign off sheets so I can document it. And we started with one very simple one on slips, trips, and falls. And we got into our little meeting, we started talking, and I'm going through the training, and where have you seen anything where you slipped or falled in this last year or whatever? And we all started talking about stuff, and they brought up a piece of pipe that was in a room. And it's been that way my whole career at the school district. It's like that tree that started in the middle of the room, that started small and you saw it, but you walked around it, now it's a huge tree and you don't see it anymore. Mm-hmm. That's that piece of pipe that we were crossing on the floor. So we talked about it. The next morning, I opened my office door and there's a sheet of paper on there with an Amazon description of how to fix the darn thing. Mm-hmm. That tells me that they're listening, that they're engaged, and that this stuff is working. So I'm very excited about it. We're going to be doing one of these every month. There'll be documentation so that there's proof that we actually talked about it. And if I get feedback like this one, we all win. So I just wanted to make sure I talked about that. I was pretty happy with that. And we're using that idea. Since we've talked about it, I'm seeing other places as well in the district that we can use that same darn thing. It's $40. And it could save a very bad accident. So I think it was good, but it all came from a safety meeting in the group.
Okay.
That's about all I got. You have a big agenda. I don't want to take up too much time.
Do we have any questions for Ed? All right,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
All right.
Thanks for the report. We'll move on. We'll have Josh McGowan talk about the music trip.
All right. Mr. Drake said I could use his little clicker.
All right. I am just here to do a little recap on our trip, tell you about some of the stuff that our students got to experience. And along the way, if you have any questions, feel free to shout them out. But I thought it would make the most sense on this slideshow. If I,
There's
there
a
it goes.
lag on here, so they'll come, but it might be a little delayed.
Gotcha, okay. To just go day by day, so starting with the first day that we were there, which was a Sunday, more than half of our group went to Hamilton. Students had the opportunity to choose Hamilton or the New York Philharmonic. And along with each of these slides, I put quotes from students who were writing reflections along the way. Those reflections are those documents that I handed you before the meeting. If you want to, there's a bunch of them, so you can read others on your own time. And if you need more, I can print more of them too. But from Michael, regarding Hamilton, he said it felt so patriotic because of the many uniquely American genres of music in the show. And like I said, we had some other students who, along with myself, went to the New York Philharmonic. They were both happening at the same time. And the New York Phil started 1 hour later, so we got dropped off in Central Park before walking the 3 blocks over there. And then, I guess I didn't have a quote on that one, but it was fantastic. Times Square, Vaughn said, Times Square is very overwhelming, but is also super fun. We gave students I think it was about 2 hours at dinner time. And they could go off and find something to eat, and then also just like see the sights, take pictures, go in the stores and stuff like that. On Monday, this was our first full day there. We woke up and drove over to St. Joseph's School for the Blind, and this is in Jersey City. And Emmett said this experience only proves that music is transcendent above disability and hardships. I remember Emmett very clearly at this performance because, as you'll see in a minute, after the band and orchestra performed, students kind of mingled together, and I was a little worried going into this part of the day because myself back in high school, if you had told me to go and mingle with people that I didn't know, it would have been one of those things where I was kind of hiding at the side of the room. But we had people in our class that just went and started chatting with everybody, and you can see in the picture on the right there, that's Emmett and another student, and Emmett would play a rhythm on the drum, and the kid would play it back for him, and it was just kind of a fun way to just kind of mingle together. After that, we went to lunch at Grand Central Station before heading to the Empire State Building. Now, before you ask, it is bigger than that one. That's actually inside the Empire State Building, and that is just like a replica. They have like a whole museum that you go through to learn about how the building was made. And according to Riley, this was such a cool experience and was worth the cold. Once we got to the very top, it was a very cloudy day, and we couldn't really see too much, but the kids really enjoyed it regardless. We went to the 9/11 Museum, and we had far fewer pictures here for good reason. Kids were very, we had a chat beforehand just because all these kids were not even born in 2001. And so just made sure that they were being respectful there, and they all did a fantastic job. But Riley said of all the real life quotes from people, all of the real life quotes from people, videos, or phone calls made me think differently of what happened on that day. It was truly such an incredible experience, and everyone should go there at least once in their lifetime. Following that, students did a little walking tour of Lower Manhattan, Little Italy, and Chinatown. The picture on the right there is at Trinity Church, where Alexander Hamilton was buried, along with his wife Eliza. And we walked out about a third of the way across the Brooklyn Bridge and got a big group picture right there. On our third day, Tuesday, the choir started off at St. John the Divine performing, and it was, according to the people that were there, it is apparently the biggest cathedral in the world, as long as you use the definition of cathedral as a church where there is a sitting bishop. So there are bigger churches in the world, but this is the largest cathedral according to that definition. So Riley said, when we started to warm up our voices and heard the echoes, it was so cool. It was one of those things where after the choir finishes, everyone had to sit there for about 5 seconds to just let the sound dissipate. So it's a cool experience. There's just a couple other pictures there. After that, we did a little walking tour of Central Park. I really enjoyed learning about the history of Central Park, says Connor. We had 3 guides, one with each bus, and the guides were very knowledgeable. Most of them, I think, at least our guide was from New York City and knew pretty much everything about Central Park, and they were super friendly and helped our kids get to know their way around Central Park and kind of the construction of it and when it came to be. Hadestown was that night, and if you're not familiar, this is a musical about the story of Orpheus and Eurydice. And Trigvi said, honestly, going into it, I thought it would be just a mid-musical. I was pretty indifferent before I saw it. Wow, though, it was an incredible performance of an incredible story. Kids really enjoyed it. And Wednesday, this was our last full day there. We did a Radio City Music Hall tour. Alexis said, my favorite part of the tour was learning about the famous Rockettes. We were able to see where they auditioned. And we had lots of dancers on the trip who really appreciated going to see Radio City. We also went to the American Museum of Natural History, where Riley said it was funny because we would look at something and be like, I saw that in history class. It's so cool that we could recognize so many things. And then that evening we went on a harbor cruise where we had like a buffet dinner and there was a dance and students could go out and see the Statue of Liberty. Cammie said it was amazing to watch the sunset across the face of the Statue of Liberty. When I stood at the bow of the ship and felt the wind in my face, I experienced a great feeling of exhilaration. And our final day there, we did have travel days on both ends, but our final day was Thursday, and this started out with something that I had never done before, and it was a super cool experience. The Broadway workshop was essentially, we walked in with just our instruments or our voices, and they handed us sheets of music, and we started, kids just got to start practicing. The choir went upstairs to another theater and worked with a piano player. And we were working on the song My Shot from Hamilton, which none of the kids had played before, at least this music. And then a little while later, we came together and the band, orchestra, and choir were all playing together. And one of the cool things about it is you can see the conductor in this picture. Right when the choir joined us, he said, so did you guys go to Hamilton this week? And we said, yeah. He said, what performance did you go to? The one on Sunday. And he said, was it the matinee? And we said, yeah. And he said, oh, I was conducting that one. And so it's like, we were working with like world-class conductors, and then a little bit later, this guy at the microphone here was the actual the Hamilton actor, the guy that performs as Hamilton on Broadway. He's also performed as Aaron Burr on Broadway, so pretty talented. And Belle, I had a quote in here somewhere. I don't know what I want to make sure I highlight Belle's quote here. Getting to meet people who work in the industry that I love and learning from them was more than I could have ever imagined. And our final event that we went to was the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Maeve said I was in awe to see original works by artists that I have looked up to in the past, such as Cézanne, is that how you say that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Monet and Van Gogh. This experience reignited my inspiration to create art of all kinds. We got a group picture at the Met. I want to say a few thank yous to people before I leave you guys to the rest of your meeting. First, to our sponsors. Our tour guide seemed to pack more events and experiences into this trip than any trip I've been on my 14 years here. It was also one of the largest groups we've ever taken, and this was possible due in part to the generous contributions of our individual and business sponsors. To our administration, school board, and community, I'm grateful that our administration, school board, and community share the perspective that sometimes the best education comes from firsthand experiences outside the classroom. A trip like this wouldn't happen without your support. To the Fergus Falls Journal, thank you to the Journal for covering our trip. If you didn't see, they did little write-ups. Every couple of days, they did a little write-up of the stuff that we've been doing along the way. And a lot of these quotes were actually students that were submitting stuff for the Journal to put in their articles. And at the very end, the Journal did a really nice write-up of our whole trip, if you want to check that out sometime. To our chaperones and drivers, from start to finish, I counted 67 hours on a bus together. You would think the chaperones and drivers would get visibly tired of it after a while, however, that couldn't be farther from the truth. Our chaperones and drivers always maintained a positive, welcoming, and enthusiastic environment, ensuring the best possible experience for our students. To the parents, as a parent of two, I'm mindful of the sacrifices, both financial and personal, that went into a trip like this. It's never easy to give up a week of family time, and I want to thank you sincerely for trusting us with your children on this trip. And finally, to the students, otters are the best. We heard countless times from people that the Fergus Falls students are well-behaved and talented. We are grateful to work with them every day. I'm going to leave you with a quote from senior Natalie Evans. I think she's a senior. This has been a once-in-a-lifetime experience for me. I learned so much and experienced so much. Thank you to everyone who made this possible for me and my fellow classmates. And if anybody wants to, there's a whole album that students were dropping in pictures throughout the trip. If you want to, you can scan that QR code or send me an email. I can get you that gallery. But if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Otherwise, thanks for your time.
Josh, I think, I know that this was originally, we set aside this week for you guys to go to Hawaii.
Correct.
And that fell through, but after looking at this, I'm thinking this is, as far as the educational value, the trip to New York is, it might have been your second choice or your backup choice, but it certainly was a good thing.
Yes,
It was a good thing.
New York is probably the best city, at least in our country, to go to for a music trip. The one downside is our kids that were looking forward to marching band didn't have a parade or anything to perform in, but the one student that came along that was part of the marching band but not in anything else learned how to play bass drum in pep band this year, so she played with us in all the pep band events and stuff like that on bass drum. So
Right, so by opening it up and calling it a fine arts tour, you really did expand it for a lot of students. And
Yes.
I love that you included, museums, theater, students, history, whatever.
yeah, in those museums you could spend multiple
Yes,
days at each one of
right.
them. So everyone left with wanting to go back. So
Well, the fact that you can do this for $2,000, and I don't know how the heck they got Hamilton tickets, but they're just impossible to get. And to see Hadestown, which is, if you haven't seen it, you need to go see it. It is amazing. Just what a great experience packing it in those 4 days at the cost that it was. I'm actually glad that you didn't go to Hawaii. I think this is a much more rich environment for arts and that kind of culture. So, I'm really glad you guys went.
30 years later, and I'm really jealous. You guys had a way better trip than I did, and wow, what an experience for those kids. You did an excellent job too, picking New York next.
It really looks great. Has the music department considered doing these in the summer so that it doesn't take that bulk of students out of the building?
we haven't. We also, we're open to just about anything. I think the tricky thing with summer is, we'd have to make sure we let families know very well in advance to make sure that they are able to participate and don't schedule their own family vacations and stuff like that. Another thing that we have, at least for me in June, is we have marching band. And so finding a time in June is pretty much impossible. And then my choir colleague is very involved. She's like one of the directors of the Bemidji State Music Camp in July. And then all state camp happens at the end of July. And then all of a sudden we're looking at August. And I guess potentially the beginning of August could be a trip, but
Yeah,
gets a little squeezed for time. But
yeah, it's obvious that I've objected to it being during the school year, that I voted against the authorizing the Hawaii trip, and that is my only thing. The trip looks amazing. I wish I could have joined you, but when that number of students are out of the classroom, it stops the education in the high school.
it was really nice to have it tied into like a
Break,
spring
yeah.
break this year.
Yeah, and that doesn't happen very often, but that when we can make that work, we're paying attention on the calendaring end. But anyway,
Is it something that would be helpful for us to make sure that I think last time it was like well over a year in advance that I think we said.
yeah,
that
there
we-
has been good notice, and so maybe there could be more cohesion on that,
Yeah.
because really that's the only concern I've ever harbored on that. So.
I think the fact that you guys asked for this time to go to Hawaii so far in advance, it gave us time with the Meet and Confer Committee to get that into the calendar for this year, to get a full week for spring break. And the calendars, because of Labor Day and Memorial Day and everything, we were still able to squeeze it in, and that's not true every year, but I know there were a lot of people that took advantage of that. The fact that we didn't make the basketball tournament, which was also that week, opened it up for a lot of kids to go to other things. I know the baseball team went to Omaha that week.
Right.
They spent time there. I talked to one staff member that was in Hawaii or in Florida, and when they came back from Tampa to Fargo, about half the plane was Fergus people. So it's always good for people to take advantage of that. And all those kids that went to Omaha and all those kids that went to Florida with their parents, they didn't miss any school that week. So it was I've heard really good feedback on the spring break thing.
Good deal. Thanks, that was a great report.
Thank you.
All right.
It's fun to see the pictures.
Yeah, thank you, Josh.
We'll hear next from Joshua Scharnberg about the Media Center, and this was something the board had asked for, was to have you come in and tell us stuff. So here we are.
Thanks for having me, and
Yeah, thank
I was
you.
fully expecting it, and I had seen that Roy had, must have done this in the past at some point, but maybe there's been a gap. I'm not sure on that. So,
Good.
but
all good.
anyways, my goal is to show you that our decisions are, as librarians, and I've mentioned all the people that work in our school libraries on the slides. Mr. Drake asked me to present since I'm the one that's officially a media specialist. And so our decisions are intentional. They're aligned with district expectations and focused on supporting student learning and engagement. Check out my next slide here. The work I've done this year, and I'm sure our other media specialists, has been grounded into district policy. It really makes it, you've done a really great job with our policies and makes it really easy from my standpoint. Outlines the criteria for building a strong and balanced collection. Materials must support educational goals at the state, district, school, and course levels. That's all considered. At the same time, we aim to both enrich instruction, but there's also a big piece of promoting reading for pleasure. We also ensure equitable access. Materials are not excluded based on an author's background or viewpoint. Another key piece is making sure materials match student needs. This includes age, maturity, ability levels, and diverse backgrounds of our students. And finally, every selection must meet standards of quality. So whether that's literary merit, accuracy, authenticity, readability, and more often than not, strong student interest and readability. So this is kind of a look into what I do on a near daily basis, but it shows how the policy plays out. One starting point is reviewing our collection. So I look for things like age gaps, such as missing books in a series, outdated areas, and circulation patterns. This helps me understand what needs attention. As an example, I discovered this year that our nonfiction collection is on average about 25 years old, and 90% of those books have been checked out one time in the last 10 years. And so it just helps me figure out where to go next, right? And so next thing is I consult input. And so this includes student requests. I'd say a bulk of the books we buy are student requests. We have a really good student body that's interested in a lot of literature, and staff recommendations are important. Curriculum needs pop up once in a while. Professional selection tools such as Kirkus Review and School Library Journals, both professional works that help me make decisions. And then from there, I consider the policies that I just reviewed on the previous slide, checking for relevance, quality, appropriateness, diversity, and readability. And then also I must keep an eye on our budget, of course, making sure we account for both replacing older materials and adding new titles. And so I prioritize purchases, selecting books that will have the strongest instructional value and impact on students. So looking ahead, just continuing to learn the ropes and work with policy and being guided by intentional decision making within the confines of my allotted budget. And ultimately, I hope the takeaway is that that this year's selections were not random. They were driven by policy, focused on educational relevance, student needs, quality standards, and responsible stewardship of the resources I'm allowed to use from our district. So I was asked to keep it short, and with that, I'm open for questions.
It was packed with density, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just to take off on what you said, the nonfiction section's old and hardly ever checked out.
Yeah.
Then you said then it tells me what I need to do next. What will you do next? I mean, is it irrelevant to have nonfiction books in the library?
I agree, no. But it is starting to look a lot different. When we went to school, we used a lot of reference books to look up information about brain health or, how to do certain kinds of math or that kind of thing. And that kind of stuff is moved more online, right? And so probably the items that once I get through with weeding, you're going to find a lot of memoirs, a lot of literary nonfiction, these kinds of books that you can't find or access much. I would say that overall it'll probably shrink considerably. But it's just trying to find the relevance.
Good, thanks. Yeah, I was thinking more of the factual base that might, you know what I mean? That the kids are just routinely checking online.
Right.
But, thank you. Any other questions?
I just want to mention my second grader, Library Day is his absolute favorite day of the week. So I want to thank all of you, all the librarians, the media specialists in our district for helping to just create an incredible amount of access to literacy within our district. So that's all. Thank you.
Working on it. And I know our elementary professionals, they do an excellent job, and I could certainly stand to learn from them.
Do you ever get an opportunity for everybody to come together to have a meeting, and to discuss what's going on in each of your different buildings?
Not as a whole yet. I've had a chance to visit every librarian in school except for Amy over at Adams. But that'll likely happen this spring.
I imagine there's a bit of a drop off, with the older kids in terms of checking out books and what do you do to get kids to read more, in the teenage years?
That's been a big part of my year this year, is trying to build try to change culture is difficult. And so I've been, this year, for instance, I implemented an Otters Read program. It works for middle school, high school, and even staff. And it's incredible. The middle school kids do a lot of reading because their teachers make them, but you're right, it drops off considerably at the high school level. English teachers tend to have their kids grab books, but it's sort of forced. And then the thing I hear from kids is that once they get to high school, there's usually not time in high school classes to go to the media center to get books. So that's something I've been working on too. I mentioned the Otters Read, and so that's I'm encouraging kids to read 10 books per year. So if they do it during the high school years, 9 through 12, 40 plus books, and then they get to graduate with an additional honors cord. Nice. Trying to add some incentive to the reading.
That's great.
Yeah.
And this is just kind of a random thought. So I use the Libby app a lot with the public libraries, and do schools do that as well, or is that just too expensive? Just another medium to get kids into books and audiobooks and whatnot.
That requires a lot of time to answer. But the short of it is, one big part of our budget is paying for Minitech for database use, the right to use EBSCO, for instance. And one thing that I'm considering, which I hesitate on because I'm so new to this position, is canceling our subscription, because as Minnesotans, we have access to ELM for you, or Electronic Library of Minnesota, in which case we have access to all kinds of databases. So we would not lose access to databases. Maybe in high school we would lose access to the full realm of the databases that we do with our current subscription. And the reason I'm mentioning this is because I'm wondering if I can take that money then and use it for something like a library of
Mhm.
sorts.
Okay.
Kind of reallocate where those funds go,
Yeah,
Mhm.
cool.
if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it does.
Let's bring back Book It.
Book
Wouldn't that be
It.
awesome? Can we
Yeah.
open up Pizza Hut?
I got so many pizzas. I got so many pizzas.
I'm sure,
Yeah.
I'm sure one of the pizza places in town would be up for it.
I understand that Book It still exists, but yeah,
Love
just
to
not
book
here.
it.
Mhm.
Love to book
DL
it.
has Pizza Hut, we can send them to DL.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah,
All right.
very good.
Anything else for Mr. Scharnberg?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Very much.
We'll move on to the various board reports and begin tonight with Kirby Anderson on his various extra committees.
Yes, Finance Committee has not met since my last report. On the 544 Education Foundation, we did not meet in March, but we did meet this past Thursday on April 9th, right here in the Community Ed room. We talked about financials. Again, the foundation is in very good shape financially, currently at about $2.6 million in total assets. As far as some of the highlights of the meeting, the Kennedy display cases in the entrance to the main entrance of the building have been cleaned and are in the process of being updated and should be done shortly. We did some research. The Dalton School was part of our district in the past before it closed, and it's now, there's a little picture of it here in the back meeting room, along with all the other buildings that highlight the past of District 544. The major donor newsletter, number 2, is for the years going out, or went out on February 20th. There's been a kind of a highlight of graduates this year. It's been kind of low-key, but there's been 10 or 12 so far. It's called Generations of Otters. You've maybe seen it someplace on social media where you'll see a graduate from next month, and they will highlight their people in their circle of family who have also graduated, whether it was their parents or uncles or brothers and sisters. So it's kind of a neat thing.
It is very neat.
The spring and summer newsletter is going to the printer this week and then going out into the mail. Our senior recognition ceremony, with all the scholarships announced and everything, will be on Monday night, May 11th, 7 o'clock. The 2026-27 classroom wish list email goes out at the end of April. And a few other things. We have chosen 2 more people to, as far as being on the Hall of Fame for alumni. Can't tell you who they are yet because they haven't been accepted. The Grant Scholarship Committee did meet and decided who's going to be awarded the scholarships at that senior recognition ceremony next month. Retired staff reunion will be right here, I believe, on Thursday, May 21st. And that should be it, other than our next meeting is going to be Thursday. Third Thursday? Second Thursday, May 14th. Any questions?
It doesn't look like it. We'll go next then to Jenny Christensen.
Building and Grounds has not met since our last meeting, but I believe Ed and Doug did an excellent job updating everybody with their reports. So
Great.
I have nothing.
All right, well, I'll follow suit. Region 1 board meeting did meet, but I was not in attendance, so I cannot report on that. Kelly, your meetings?
Yep, the Wellness Committee did not meet, Staff Development did. They just basically reiterated the budget of $24,358.59 left. They went over the staff development days. They chose November 25th. They stopped thinking about the February 26th because of that section wrestling meet. There just won't be any parking. There won't be, that'll be just too much for everybody. And then they went with March 5th. The keynote speaker for November 25th would be Joe Beckman. He does have some videos on YouTube if anybody wants to go watch. And
Did you say Beckman?
Yep, Beckman.
Thank you.
And Jesse was not in the meeting yet, so the new staff development request app has not been talked about yet. Krista asked if somebody would be interested in doing a subcommittee, so she's not doing it all by herself. And the great Trista Kitzman offered, so it'll now be Trista and Krista.
Okay, fantastic.
So that was that.
Great. Anybody have any questions for Kelly? All right. And Missy, your board report?
Policy committee has not met. Curriculum committee meets next Monday, so I'll have something for you next month.
All right. Stephen Biggessa.
Activities has not met, and meet and confer has not met. They're conferred, so I have nothing.
Oh, great. Well, then we'll move on to Superintendent Drake's board report.
Well, good evening. It seems like it's been a long time since I was here, but the spring break offered a nice opportunity for a trip to Georgia, and that was really, really nice. Several thank yous. First of all, in the span since I've been in front of you, there's been some recognition days for various classifications of staff. Poetically, maybe, the librarians was on April 4th, so appreciate Josh being here tonight and sharing what's going on with our media center and our how our collection is curated and those decisions are made. So appreciate all the work of Josh and his staff throughout the district promoting reading and exploring and learning. We also had National Assistant Principals Week, and so with appreciation to Shane Tilkey and Ryan Johnson, and then technically Derek Abrahams is also among the assistant principals, even though he's designated specialist as our activities director. So thank you for the hours that they put in support of our students and staff. Then this week is a very big day on Wednesday. It is Administrative Professionals Day, and those of us that work in the buildings would be impossible to adequately convey our appreciation for the work that our administrative professionals do. They are the greeters of the public. They are the welcomers of our students. They are the folks that are the first line of assistance and customer service when people have problems or struggles or challenges, and just do a wonderful job of representing our school district and community, and certainly couldn't do it without them. So appreciate all that they do. Some congratulations. We've just had a lot of wonderful things that have happened since I was in front of you last. Our mathletes, the last time I talked, I had indicated that they had qualified for the state tournament. Well, they went down there and just had a phenomenal performance. They finished with the Class AA third place trophy. So really appreciate all the work that that Miranda Steer does in coaching them. And then special congratulations to Eric, Micaiah, Trigby, Violet, Scott, Cade, Jacob W, Jacob J, and Isaac J. Terrific performance, and the academic success always brings an extra smile to my face, and appreciate all their hard work. The Otterbots, Amy and I had a chance to watch the regional finals down in Minneapolis via our television computer connection. So that was really exciting. They were the second place team in the prelims, and so they were Alliance, the Blue Alliance. That means as one of the two captain teams, they could pick, they draft other teams to fill out their competitive squad. The other team was the Red Alliance, and then they had a best 2 out of 3 competition. And there's 2 components to the competition. One is gathering these a plethora of balls that are about the size of tennis balls, and you have to shoot them into a container, and you get points by launching the balls into the container. And there are different designs that do that. And the other one had a stand that was probably about this tall, and there were 3 rungs on it, and you got points if your bot could approach the stand and then lift itself up off the floor for, it was like 5 seconds or so. So you got points for that. Anyway, the team just did a fantastic job down there. They finished second. I think there were 40-some teams perhaps. There was a big competition.
So although it's not official yet, we're fully expecting that this team will qualify for the state competition. And so we're really excited about that. But congratulations to Eric, Tim, Micaiah, Micah, Alexis, Hunter, Dane, Otts, thank you, Marissa, Walter, and Leaf, and as well as to the coaches or mentors, Bill, Aaron, Darren, Bob, and Taylor. And there's a photo of them with their trophy and medals, as well as the bot, and they are always 32.93 in competition. So if you're ever looking at one of the regionals, you can track them based on that number. Knowledge Bowl had qualified to state in sections. Recall that they had finished second to Moorhead, which qualified them for the state competition at Craigens. After the written round that was done Thursday evening, they were 3 points out of first, and so they entered the first day of competition in really good standing. We're sitting in about sixth place through 3 rounds, and then had a couple tougher rounds in round 4 and 5, and they ended up 14th out of 18 teams. But this is the large school division. This is Edina, the Anokas, the Duluth teams throughout the state. So really proud of the work that they did, and congratulations to Gus, Eric, Trigby, Chloe, and Cooper, and that team is coached by Amy Drake. The Minnesota State High School League Section 6A, North Art Show. We have 12 students that are having their work exhibited right now. The photos that you see on the right is just a small sample of some of the work that has been submitted. But the exhibit is going on between April 1st and April 17th. And appreciate the work of our art instructors to support these students. And I have made the list of names in such a small font that it would be a little difficult for me to read them off from here.
I got you.
All right, thank you.
Shariah, Vanna, Jetta, Kiara, Lucy, Marissa, Ramsam, Olivia, Timothy, Havila, Chloe, and Bryn.
Thank you very much, Jenny. I appreciate that. Mark Anderson, Principal Anderson, was designated as the Western Division Principal of the Year through the Minnesota Association of Secondary School Principals. So congratulations to Mark. Western Division is divided into 8 divisions throughout the state. And so now Mark, I don't think the announcement would come until the winter meeting, but Mark would be considered to be the State High School Principal of the Year from nominee from out of these sections. So congratulations to Mark, and appreciate his dedication to our students and all that he does to support our staff and community. Also, congratulations to Derek Abrahams, 6A Athletic Director of the Year, again by regions, and appreciate his hard work and dedication. Derek does do a wonderful job traveling to our student competitions throughout the state, and including ones that maybe are not, don't always receive a lot of spotlights and accolades. So appreciate all that he does in supporting our students and our coaches. We had the snake discovery at Lincoln School. Some people may have to look away. Yep, I get that. But that was thanks to the Otter Elementary PTO, and I had a chance to participate in that with a group of students in the afternoon, and the students were super excited, brave. I think all of them held the snake at one time or another, and as a reptile lover myself, I thought it was a really cool opportunity for them. So. Young authors, the monsters are missing. So this is another one of, I speak fairly frequently of some of the creative things Jessica Colhase does in her classroom. This is another one. They had an opportunity to imagine a unique monster and brainstorm the adjectives that would describe the qualities of their monster. And then they wrote stories and they were published in books. And so you can see in that upper right-hand corner, their books have arrived and they're opening the box with their publication in there. And just a wonderful blend of learning and creativity, and appreciate all the extra time and effort that goes into those kinds of learning opportunities for our students. Philanthropy and youth presentation. So they had an opportunity to go up to NDSU and present to the Board of Executives, and they came away thoroughly impressing that boardroom. And so as a result of their quality of their presentation and the thoughtfulness and planning that had gone into it, they received a grant of $6,000 that they are able to disperse to various nonprofits that they have interviewed over the course of the program and have determined that they serve a vital function in the community and are deserving of additional funding. So congratulations to Brooklyn, Violet, Signe, Delia, Allie, Michaela, Brooke, Evie, Emma, and Ms. Christensen, Mindy Christensen, as their advisor. The Point of Impact Teen Driving Program, you heard Mary mention that tonight, and so that is taking place now as we speak, but it is a 90-minute class that reduces the behind the wheel requirement by 10 hours, and it's designed to help provide our students with skills and awareness to make them safer on the road. So appreciate that opportunity. Principal Anderson has worked with the judicial court system, and so our students are going to have an opportunity to hear and sit in on a real live court case. So that is taking place Thursday, April 23rd. And it should be a wonderful opportunity for our students to understand more about how our judicial process works and ask questions and, again, participate in or witness a real-life court case going on. So appreciate all the time and effort to organize that experience. One of the things I wanted to talk a little bit about for the public's sake tonight is just on our fiscal year 27 budget. A year ago, we were making some fairly significant cuts. I'm really pleased to say that tonight, although there's a lengthy list of resolutions on this board agenda, a lot of that is are things that we have to do as a part of our normal policy and procedures. When you strip away all of the verbiage, we really are making very, very little in terms of reductions. We're doing a 6th grade elementary teacher reduction, and that's based on section numbers as our enrollment ebbs and flows through the system. We did not have to release any teachers because of that due to a natural retirement, so pleased about that. We're doing a very small reduction in world languages, and we don't need to reduce a tenured person there as we're moving some things around with the IQ staff, and so that person will pick up the 0.167 FTE that was lost with the world language cut by picking up a ELL assignment there. We do have a reduction in English language learners at the elementary level, and this is to align the revenue and expenditures for that program a little bit more closely. We still are providing additional general fund dollars to help support that program, which we also do with Title I for reading and math as well. A lot of the other reductions, we talk about this every year, is just natural rollbacks that we do with IQ because our enrollment starts out at its smallest point or lowest point in September. Enrollment builds through the course of the year and then retracts again for the next fall. So we do these in IQ enrollments every single year. The other one that is new to the public this year and new to the board is on the advice of MSBA. We've also included staff members that were serving as long-term subs this year, even though their contracts would have a beginning and ending date on them, just to prevent any kind of confusion that there was a continuing contract. It's been advised that we add those to the list as well. And then the final one is our Tier 1 teachers. They are not eligible for the tenure rights based on their Tier 1 licensure status. Each year, the state requires us to post those openings in the event that there's a fully licensed teacher out there that's looking for that work, and so that's part of the process tonight. But all things considered, we have a very stable fiscal situation right now and very, very minimal adjustments to the staffing. We are doing a few additions. We have an addition to our healthcare staff with Kate McNelly, and that's based on student enrollment, really seeking out the opportunities in the healthcare fields. We have a slight increase at KSS in social studies, and then we have an increase in Phi-Ed that will reduce some of our class sizes to more reasonable levels, and then reduce the need for some overloads that we had this year. So that's a quick explanation of the staffing changes and the reasons behind them. Doug and Ed mentioned our facility projects already. The pool is ongoing, so that started about a week ago. I will maybe give just a little bit more information on Adams this year, because we're doing quite a bit of work to Adams. Adams is currently getting a new roof. It will get a new electrical cabling project done this summer. So all the wiring will be redone with that cabling project. It'll have new sound systems put into it, and then it will also receive some floor treatment, so carpeting, etc., to kind of spruce Adams up as well. A couple of items for the community. Our newsletter was published recently, so please check that out. Also, we have a book fair at Adams coming up on April 23rd. I will do a community connections on Wednesday, April 29th, and we will have one more scheduled in May. And with that, I will turn it over to any questions.
Jeff, I have one question. It's, I noticed today we got an email from Community Education about the summer activities of like strength training, volleyball, and some other great things
Yes.
that the school is now taking charge of, and
Yes.
rather than the summer city programs.
Yes.
Did anything go out about that? Because I didn't see anything, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know if the parents will get that in time, because we also haven't got that newspaper from the city yet. We only knew about it from being online. And so there are some parents that are confused about the strength training program, where it went. So is there anything that we could get to the parents out that shows that this is what's the changes for the summer programs for the kids?
Yeah, I'll make a note of that when I get back to my seat, Kelly, and we'll send out something district-wide talking about the change in enrollment or registration process.
Yeah, I just thought that would help the parents, because I was excited when I saw it today in my email. So I thought I hurry up and signed them up, but I just wanted to make sure other parents were aware of what was going on.
Yeah, I
So-
appreciate you bringing that to our attention. We will get the word out for sure.
Perfect, thanks.
Yep, you're welcome.
Any other questions?
Yeah, just want to add one thing coming up this week on Thursday. The ALC is going to have their MAP stars. It's the thing they do every spring. It'll be right in this room, part of it, that I'm involved with, where the ALC students, they do research on different jobs, and then they come in for a mock job interview and hopefully dress up and be able to ask and answer questions, everything. And so I think myself and one other person will be doing the job interviews. So we have to act as if we're in the HR department of these various companies that they have to apply for. So kind of fun. I did last year too. So it's a good experience for the ALC students.
Pretty cool.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, we will go back to the agenda before us and look at our general consent items. For consideration of approval in this motion are the minutes from our March 23rd, 2026 regular board meeting, and then the bills and treasurer's report. So what do you have for us, Steve?
Jenny and I reviewed bills last week. Nothing that's out of the ordinary. You guys have all the information. The public has all the information as well in the board packet. Nothing, significant in terms of the bills that we paid, other than elevators are really expensive. And as far as the treasurer's report, again, just kind of ho-hum. There's about 17% more in our fund balance this year than last year, but that can change depending on, when we get funding and when receipts come through and stuff like that. So that is all I got.
All right. And then we have quite a few personnel items. We have certified staff hires, Mary Johnson, Craig Peterson, Evan Meese, and Ann Hintz. And these are all either long-term subs or adding additional. Evan Meese is a full-time teacher at the ALC effective next fall. And otherwise, we have subs in those other staff. We have a contract change for Valerie Johnson, adding .0666 FTE for overload for music. Certified staff retirement, Angela Larson, 6th grade teacher, is retiring at the end of the school year. Certified staff separations, Mark Soley, long-term sub, has separated. The support staff hires include David Strom, accompanist, effective April 13th, and Taylor Koopman, a dishwasher, effective April 14th. Support staff separations include Amy Toy, counseling office assistant, going to leave at the end of the school year, and Teresa Leno, special ed para, effective 4/22/26. We got 3 requests for negotiations of contract for the 2026 to 2028 school years. The Minnesota School Employees Association custodial and secretarial personnel have requested to negotiate, as have food services personnel and Title I paras. So with that, we have the items before us. Is there a motion to approve those?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, we'll take Jenny on that. And discussion. Anybody have any questions, comments, or concerns in regard to the consent items? Hearing none, all in favor of approving, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. All right, that is approved. We'll move on to new business where I'm looking for a motion to award the fiscal year 27 bread bid to Pana Gold, and the estimated contract amount will be $19,351. Would someone make that
So
motion?
moved.
All right, and second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion on that?
It's a lot of dough.
Nice. I was trying to think of something.
That was great, Kirby.
Yeah.
That is a lot of dough.
Sorry.
Any,
We are elected officials.
That's very serious, sorry. Sorry.
any credible comments? All right,
Credible. That was totally credible. Let's be honest. Come on.
all in favor of awarding the bread bid to Pana Gold, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. All right, thank you. Next motion, looking for approval of work authorization for ATS&R's design services for Cleveland Elementary School heat pump replacement project. So this would be a fee estimate of $52,500, and this is approximately 7% of the entirety of the construction costs, but that is to pay for this work. So, someone make that motion?
So moved.
A second?
I'll second.
All right, any discussion on that? Okay, hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. That's approved. The next item is an approval of a 5-year agreement with Liberty Business Systems for, is it Kyocera copiers? Kyocera copiers, service, and paper cut subscription, effective on July 1st. Would someone make a motion to approve this?
So moved.
And a second?
Second?
Any discussion there? All in favor of approving, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Is there a motion to approve the 26-27 IQ Academy school calendar?
So moved.
And a second?
Second it?
All right. Any discussion on that? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. The next item of business is looking for approval of the 26-27 Otter Preschool and Early Childhood Family Education Calendar.
So moved.
Thank you, Kelly. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion there? All in favor of approving, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. All right, we're looking for approval of a .42 full-time equivalent Phi Ed teacher at Kennedy, effective for the, for next fall, for the 26-27 school year.
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. All right, thank you. Now seeking item number 7, motion for an additional .08 full-time equivalent Phi Ed at the Kennedy Middle School effective for next year.
So moved.
And a second?
Seconded?
All right, any questions, comments, concerns? All in favor of approving, say aye.
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 Opposed, say nay. I would seek a motion for an additional .1667 social studies teacher at Kennedy for the next fall, for the next school year.
I'll make that motion.
And a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. That is approved, and we will look for motion for additional .583 health science teacher at Kennedy for next fall, for the following school year. Would someone make that motion?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. All right. We have a resolution on the retirement of Angela Larson. Whereas Angela began her employment with Fergus Falls Public Schools in September 1990. Whereas Angela has been a valued employee with Fergus Falls Public Schools for the past 36 years. That's right, people, 36 years. And whereas Angela has been a dedicated teacher for the district, and now therefore be it resolved by the Fergus Falls School Board to thank Angela for her 36 years of service to Fergus Falls Public Schools. Yeah. Will someone offer that resolution and move for its adoption?
I'll offer the resolution and move for its adoption.
And is there a second?
Second.
All right, Kelly. Any discussion?
She's awesome. Say it again.
Missy keeps saying she's awesome, but her microphone's not working.
Oh, she's awesome.
All right.
I will do the roll call. when
Yes,
you
please
say.
do the roll call.
Okay. Melanie Cole,
Yes.
Stephen Vigasa,
Yes.
Kirby Anderson.
Yes.
Kelly Graff,
Yes.
Jenny Christensen.
Yes.
Missy Hermes, yes. The resolution is adopted.
Can I have just 1 second? I should have mentioned it, number 5. I'm not sure who puts together the Otter Preschool or ECFE calendar. There's at least a couple mistakes. Memorial Day is September 7th. I think that should be Labor Day. And then it says first day of Otter Preschool is on the 9th, but the calendar thing says the 8th. So there's a couple little things there that just to update that.
All right. I see Superintendent Drake's taking notes, and we'll see if we need to bring that back for.
That's my OCD
And
crazy
then
when I see
the
stuff.
first day.
Mhm.
It says September 9th. but the
Good
calendar says
scrutiny.
the 8th.
Should be September 8th.
Yeah.
All right. We'll move forward. We have a lot of reading. This is the resolutions regarding discontinuing and reducing educational positions and programs. These resolutions are mandated by statute and labor law, and so we follow along with that. Whereas the School Board of Independent School District Number 544 adopted a resolution on January 26, 2026, directing the administration to make recommendations for reductions in the programs and positions, and whereas said recommendations have been received and considered by the school board, be it resolved by the School Board of Independent School District Number 544 as follows: that the following programs and positions or portions thereof be discontinued. This is district-wide and includes IQ Academy. Certified staff positions, A, elementary, 1 full-time equivalent. B, English language learners, .3333 full-time equivalent. And C, world language, .1667 full-time equivalent. Certified IQ Academy positions, art, .2916 full-time equivalent. Business, .4166 full-time equivalent. Elementary, .166 full-time equivalent. FCS, facts, family consumer science, .3333 full-time equivalent. And then math, .25 full-time equivalent. Will someone offer that resolution and move for its adoption?
I will offer that resolution and move for its adoption.
All right, and is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Stephen will second. And discussion on the resolution? Hearing none, I will turn to the clerk for a roll call.
Jenny Christensen.
Yes.
Missy Hermes, yes. Melanie Cole.
Yes.
Stephen Biggessa.
Yes.
Kirby Anderson.
Yes.
Kelly Graff.
Yes.
The resolution is adopted.
All right, thank you. We have before us a resolution relating to non-renewing a Tier 1 teacher. Whereas, and we will insert the teacher's name, is a Tier 1 teacher in Independent School District Number 544. Be it resolved by the School Board of Independent School District Number 544 that the teaching contract of, insert name here, teacher, be Tier 1 teacher in Independent School District Number 544 shall be non-renewed at the end of the 25-26 school year. And be it further resolved that written notice be sent to said teacher regarding non-renewal of the teacher's teaching contract. This is what the notice of non-renewing a Tier 1 teacher will look like. Dear teacher's name, you are hereby notified that at the meeting of the School Board of Independent School District Number 544, held on April 13th, 2026, a resolution was adopted by a majority roll call vote to not renew your teaching contract for the 26-27 school year. Your employment will terminate at the end of the 25-26 school year, which is effective June 30th, 2026. Sincerely, School Board Chair Melanie Cole. And under this category, we have Ann Hintz, Bailey McKinney, and Catherine McNelly. Will someone offer the resolution and move for its adoption?
I'll offer the resolution and move for its adoption.
A second?
I'll second.
All right. And then just as Superintendent Drake noted during his presentation, these are cuts for Tier 1 teachers to offer the, open it up in case a fully licensed teacher wants in, and otherwise we will still need these positions. So, all right. Clerk, will you please take roll?
Yes. Kirby Anderson.
Yes.
Kelly Graff.
Yes.
Jenny Christensen.
Yes.
Missy Hermes, yes. Melanie Cole.
Yes.
Stephen Biggessa.
Yes.
The resolution is adopted.
All right, thank you. We have before us a resolution non-renewing the teaching contract of a probationary teacher and a long-term substitute. Whereas, and the teacher's name will be inserted, is a probationary teacher in Independent School District Number 544. Be it resolved by the School Board of Independent School District 544, the long-term substitute, which is a 90-plus days non-renewal. That's the category. Pursuant to Minnesota Statute 122A.44 and Statute 122A.40 Subdivision 5, the long-term substitute teaching contract of, insert teacher name, shall be non-renewed at the end of the 25-26 school year, effective on June 30th, 2026. due to the conclusion of the specific temporary assignment for which they were hired. This affects the following personnel: Diane Wicklund, Drew Helmstead, Allison Kohler, Carrie Tollerson, Michelle Oliphant, Craig Peterson, Jenny Widola, and Tori Ratz. Be it further resolved that written notice be sent to said teacher regarding the non-renewal of the teacher's long-term substitute teaching contract, and the notice shall look like this. Notice of non-renewal for a probationary long-term substitute teacher. Dear, insert teacher name, you are hereby notified that at the meeting of the School Board of Independent School District number 544, held on April 13th, 2026, a resolution was adopted by a majority roll call vote to not renew your teaching contract for the 26-27 school year. Your employment will terminate at the end of the 25-26 school year, effective June 30th, 2026. Said action of the school board is taken pursuant to Minnesota Statute 122A.44 and 122A.40 Subdivision 5 and the District Master Agreement. You may officially request the school board give its reasons for non-renewal of your teaching contract. For your information, however, this action is being taken due to the conclusion of the specific temporary assignment for which you were hired. Sincerely, Melanie Cole, School Board Chair, and that is what that resolution will look like. Will someone offer that resolution and move for its adoption?
I'll offer that resolution and move for its adoption.
I'll second that. All right, is there discussion on that? Clerk, will you please take roll?
Yes, Kelly Graff.
Yes.
Jenny Christensen.
Yes.
Missy Hermes, yes. Melanie Cole.
Yes.
Stephen Biggessy.
Yes.
Kirby Anderson.
Yes.
The resolution is adopted.
All right, thank you. We have one more category, and this is a resolution proposing placement of a continuing contract / tenured teacher on unrequested leave of absence. Be it resolved by the School Board of Independent School District 544 as follows, that it is proposed that, insert teacher name, a continuing contract or tenured teacher of said district be placed on unrequested leave of absence without pay or fringe benefits at the end of the 25-26 school year, effective on June 30th, 2026. Said action is taken in accordance with the district master agreement and pursuant to Minnesota Statute 122A.40 Subdivision 10 upon the grounds described in said statute and which are specifically financial limitations. Be it further resolved that a notice of proposed placement on unrequested leave together with a copy of this resolution be forwarded to said teacher and that an affidavit of the same be placed in his or her personnel file with a copy of the notice and resolution. The notice of proposed placement on unrequested leave of absence for a continuing contract or a tenured teacher and notice of a hearing officer, if requested, looks like the following. Dear Ms./Mr. insert teacher name, you are hereby notified that at the regular meeting of School Board of Independent School District number 544 held on April 13th, 2026, a resolution was adopted by majority vote of the school board proposing your placement on unrequested leave of absence without pay or fringe benefits as a teacher of Independent School District 544 at the end of the 25-26 school year, which is effective June 30th, 2026. Said action of the board is taken pursuant to the District Master Agreement in Minnesota Statute 122A.40 Subdivision 10 upon the grounds described in statute and which are specifically as follows. Financial limitations. Under the provisions of the law, you're entitled to a hearing before the school board, provided that you make a request in writing within 14 days after the receipt of this notice. If no hearing is requested within such a period, it shall be deemed acquiescence by you to the school board's proposed action. If you desire a hearing, you must notify us by April 30th. Sincerely, Melanie Cole, Board Chair of Independent School District 544. That and each of all of the foregoing, I'll start that over, that each and all of the foregoing grounds of said notice are within the grounds for unrequested leave placement as set forth in Minnesota Statute 122A.40, Subdivision 10, and Article 5, Section 2 of the current master agreement between the school district and the exclusive representative, and are hereby adopted as fully and those separately set forth and resolved therein. There are 6 teachers with different percentages of their contract that are getting this notice. Lori McNally, .3333 full-time equivalent. Mariah Minkinen, .25 full-time equivalent. Heather Schrader, .2916 full-time equivalent. Ann Sco, .3333 full-time equivalent. Lisa Tyson, .4167 full-time equivalent. And Claire Gauthier, .1667 full-time equivalent. Will someone offer that resolution and move for its adoption?
I'll offer the resolution, move for its adoption.
And a second?
Second.
All right, any discussion?
These are all IQ Stride employees, right?
Correct.
Okay.
All right, anything else? Very well. Clerk, please take roll.
Kirby Anderson.
Yes.
Kelly Graff.
Yes.
Jenny Christensen.
Yes.
Missy Hermes, yes. Melanie Cole.
Yes.
Stephen Vigasa.
Yes.
The resolution is adopted.
All right. Very well, that concludes the meeting agenda for this evening. And we will have a work session where we're going to discuss Minnesota's student survey results and touch on a discussion on the cell phone policy. Our next board meeting will be Monday, April 27th at 5:15 right here in the community ed room. Would someone make a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
And-
Second.
All right.
Oh, you don't need a second.
You don't need a
Not
second.
for that one.
Well,
I rescind my second.
It's
No,
just the
you-
2 people that want to leave the most.
yeah.
I have to use the restroom for the record.
We need a second, we just don't need to vote on it. We are
Okay,
adjourned.
second.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right. Very good. All right, we'll take a small breather.